Hi, welcome to my August wrap up. When I went to look at the list, it's not very long. 6 books for this month, but that's okay. It's September 1st. It's a new month. I can do better next month, but you know what? I'm not even going to beat myself up about this because I read Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun, 672 pages. It's like 2 books. It's like 3 books. It was like 3 books, but more importantly, I read it slowly. Did you ever enjoy a book so much that you read it slow? That's how I felt about Midnight Sun. I wanted to take my time. I wanted to enjoy the whole book, and I did. And you know what? This book has gotten so much criticism. People were like, we're over it. It should have came out 5 years ago or 6 years ago. But I didn't feel that way. I actually really enjoyed going back. I thought the time was good because we were kind of away from it. I think if it would have came out any earlier, we would have been like, I'm so over Twilight. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think below. My opinion is it was perfect time. I was ecstatic about this whole entire book. I did a book review on it, so I don't really have to get into it right here. I'll link it below. Needless to say, it was so much fun, and I spent the beginning of August in Vampire Land, and I loved it. Next, The Lions of Fifth Avenue by Fiona Davis. I love Fiona Davis. I have talked to her many times. What wasn't there to love about this book? Fiona always does 2 points of views, 2 female characters, and then she takes us into New York City, into the history of New York City, and just makes us fall in love with New York City, as if we didn't already love New York City. The public library, the New York Public Library, it was the perfect setting for this book. I enjoyed it. I told you guys about it before in the beginning of the month. That was my second book. My third book, which I want to say it's my favorite book of the month because I did get to talk to Boo Walker. An unfinished story, 335 pages. I fell in love with Claire and Whitaker. Oh my gosh. This is one of those books I wish I could erase my brain and go back and read again. It was that good. Go read it. I don't know what to tell you, except go read it if you haven't already. And I'll link my interview. He was so much fun. I could hardly say enough good things about this book. It touched my soul. Did you ever have a book just touch your soul? I heard somebody say, I'm going to link this girl that I found. She reviews books. Her name is Noelle, and I can't remember her last name, but I'm going to link her channel below because she is so awesome. She was talking about another book that I actually put on my book list for September. Even though I'd already done my list, she convinced me to read this book. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. She said what she considers a 5-star review is when it touches your soul that you can't let go of it. So I was like, Midnight Sun, I can't say that it was fun, but I don't know that it touched my soul. Then I have to give it a 4. You know that. I don't do ratings, but it's kind of fun to think about now. I like the way that she described it, and I love watching her. I have learned so much by watching her. So I would say an unfinished story touched my soul. I can't let it go. So that means it's worthy of 5 stars. Number 4, The Comeback by Ellen Berman. Oh my gosh. I have read so many bad reviews about this book, and this is why I don't read reviews before I read a book. This book was so good. I loved it. Ellen Berman's debut novel. I mean, come on. I can't wait to see what she writes next. The ending was incredible. The whole book is incredible, and I fell in love with Grace. Everybody was saying well, I couldn't really feel Grace. I couldn't really get in touch with her. I'm like, are you kidding? You couldn't feel Grace? Never mind, people are doing hashtag Me Too movement. Yeah, and actually that kind of turned me off to it because I was thinking, if she's writing this just for the Me Too movement and that's what this book's going to be about, I'm going to become really disinterested quickly. I have a pet peeve against books that have an agenda. And if I can pick out that agenda very early on, I will set it down. I don't want to read a novel with an agenda. But this book was real. Grace, to me, I don't know. Let me know. Did you read it? It was picked by Jenna Bush Hager. That's why I decided to read it. Because I was like, she said that it brought her back to reading. So I'm like, well, I got to see what that is. I loved it. Did it touch my soul? That's what I'm going to say from now on. I'm going to say, did this book touch my soul? It came really close. How about 4.5? It came really close to touching my soul. I have to say that. Royal by Danielle Steele. Oh my gosh, did I love this book. I did a book review on it. I'll link it below. I don't want to say too much because I already did a book review. So if you watch that, you already know exactly how I felt about this book. I think it's the best one she's done this year. I think it's the best one in a while. And I love her. So that's saying a lot. I love her, and I think it's one of her better books. It had twists and turns. It was so reminiscent to me of kind of an old Danielle Steele book. But I don't want to even say that because I love her so much. It's hard for me to be critical of her. Let's just say I loved it. And did it touch my soul? No. So then it only gets 4. Thank you, Noelle. If you ever see this, I'm going to write to you on Instagram and tell you that I've now changed the way that I think about a book. It's going to be like, did it touch my soul? You know how in makeup, they always say like holy grail. Oh, this is my holy grail go-to blush or whatever. This is how I'm going to, did it touch my soul? Book. That's how it's going to be. Then the last one I read, The Exiles by Christina Baker Klein. Such an amazing book. Historical fiction. And I really hesitated. I mean, she is an amazing author. And I thought it's going to be about Australia. And then I was like, am I interested? And then first I thought, am I interested in Australian history? Then I was like, how do you know? You never read anything about Australian history. So what do you have to compare it to? And then that answered the question. I'm like, yes, I'm in. I have to read it. I have to learn about Australia. Every time I read a chapter, I would say to somebody like, did you know this about Australia? Did you know this part? Did you know, so if you can do that, if historical fiction can enlighten you, if it can enlighten you, then you know it was a good book. That book enlightened me. It made me so interested. I have so many Australian author friends. Sally Hepworth. She's one of my favorite friends in Australia. Everything, to me, she embodies everything Australia. And I love her books and I love her. And I've talked to her and she's awesome. So I always think about her. If I think about Australia, I think about her. Other people think about movie stars. I think about Sally. So it just kind of cracked me up when I'm reading this and I'm like, I wonder if Sally knows this. I bet she does because she's in Australia. And now it makes me want to go to Australia. Anyway, there we go. That is the wrap up. I did 1 YA, 2 historical fictions, 3 women's fiction. I have way more books in September, so I cannot take my time in September. I'm going to have to read faster than this, but I'm still really proud of what I read. I had so much fun. Every one of these books was so worthy of my time. And you know from my other videos that I've started a lot of books. I don't always finish them. And I don't want to talk about them again. I already told you which ones they were. These are the books that I actually finished. It was fun. August was weird. Today is September 1st. I keep saying this every beginning of the month this year since March. It's going to be better, right? It is, because it's September now. Can all calm down, enjoy September, right? I hope so. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was so much fun. I can't wait for September. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far and you enjoyed this video, please hit like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and until my next video.